Alright, so here we are in my bathroom. This place used to be a kind of a dive of a room when first had the house. It worked, you know, it was a bathroom, but that was about it. Now, what we had was we had mold and rot problems, and really bad. So we ended up having to rip the whole place down. We gutted it, the whole place. We even ripped out the studs. It was really bad, a lot of problems, and we put new studs in. We did the drywall and put in a new tile in the wall. And actually, on that note, we're going to be doing a wall tiling video as well in the future. So just make sure you watch for that, and it's going to be great too. So once you go through this and get your floor down and you want to do some wall, we'll be right there for you. Anyway, we're going to be talking about floor now. So let's just pan down and look at the granite. So this granite here ended up actually being about $3 a square foot, and it just came out really nice. Really happy with it. And you notice we did a glass border here, and this actually came out of necessity more than anything. Didn't originally plan for it, but we had to, due to space constraints, had to do something a little different. And the way it worked out, I'm just really pleased with it, because in the end it added a whole lot of value and look to the place. What originally it was just meant to be a filler, and it ended up coming out really nice. So that's just something else you can do when you're figuring out if you want to do ceramic or whatever. This works well. It is a bit more challenging to do, but you can do granite your first time if you're ready for it, that kind of thing. And now we're going to go downstairs and look at the basement to show you the tile job we did down there. And with that one, we actually tiled it so that we could show you in our book. I don't know if you bought it yet. If you haven't, highly recommend it. Whether you get the physical book or the PDF version, either one works really well, and it'll give you a more close-up view of each step. So as opposed to just seeing it on video, you get to see it right on paper, so you can look at it as you're working, and it's a good cross-reference for you. So let's go downstairs and check that out. Hey, welcome to my basement. So like I said, this is the room that we tiled the floor just so that we could show in the book how to do it step by step. So if you want to just real quick look down, and we'll show you the design, because when we're on the DVD we just show you a section, but here we opened it up, we pulled away all the couches, most of the stuff, and just wanted to show you what we did. It wasn't complicated, it wasn't really time consuming. We just took what we had and made it work. We started by buying 2 different kinds of tile. We bought a lot of the dark and a few of the white. At first we didn't really know what we were going to do, and from there we just kind of said, what do we want? Where do we want people's eye to go? How do we want it to look when it's done? How is it going to work with our furniture and stuff? And this is what we ended up with. We really like the look, and everybody comes down and says the same thing. It's a simple idea. Like I said, didn't take a lot of time. The only time it did take was trying to figure out our lines. Where did they go? But after that, you just make a few cuts, lay it down, and done. And it looks like you've been doing this for years and years and years. Now, actually, I have, but this kind of idea doesn't take a lot. So if you want to do a design and you're like, well, it's my first time, I shouldn't, don't let that stop you. Pick something that's not too difficult. Don't try and go for those crazy mosaics, because that does take some time and usually a lot of frustration. But something like this, very doable for your first time. I just want to show you that we did tile baseboards as well. And just, once again, real simple. We didn't go fancy on it, didn't put transition pieces on it. We wanted to keep things simple down here. We didn't want to go fancy. Not really much more to say other than we did it over a concrete floor. So there's no subfloor we had to worry about, so there's no shifting down here. This is like a 55-year-old home, and everything is settled. There's no movement. The floor was really nice. There wasn't a lot of work that had to be done on the floor before we put the tile down, so there wasn't much worrying about making sure we had enough nails. Obviously, concrete, a lot easier to do a floor on concrete. So that being said, we'll just go back upstairs and we'll finish up from there. Alright, so that was the overview of my house. You got to see the kitchen, the bathrooms, my basement, and you got to see the different stages of when I first started. Didn't have a clue what I was doing. thought I did. Didn't understand about the importance of subfloors and that sort of thing. But then you get to see the ending there when I actually had some training and I had done this for a while, so it was it was more self-taught than anything. But I did talk to a lot of professionals and got a lot of advice from those guys, and they made a really big difference in what I did. But learning it over a long period of time isn't the best way to do it. The best way to do it is getting it all at once and going through the steps one by one, so you do it properly the first time and you don't have to worry about redoing it or changes or anything like that.